Hey, Flo here on another adventure. So I didn't show the entire traverse between the last boulders and these, but I didn't cut out too much. But it's not quite one of those perfectly continuous video sets. Some interesting tracks. Okay, so this I haven't ever fully figured it out, but my best guess is that these are bunnies, like rabbits, but they could also be squirrels. I'm not like an expert on tracks at all. This is a interesting shape here. It's got to be that same animal, but it looks different somehow. Alright, so I noticed tracks a lot last year. I'm very familiar with this particular pattern simply because I've seen it a million times, but I'm not, like I said, I don't know what it is. I've just seen that pattern a bunch of times. This one's a little different than what I'm used to, though. You can actually see the little paw prints. So yeah, somebody in chat or in the comments can let me know what these tracks are if you know more than I do, because I don't know much at all. This is cool. See, I think I'll do a 2-shot, kind of like a panorama. I could just do a vertical panorama. Alright, so I must have had this one marked for quite a while because it has a very relatively low number, well, quite low compared to where I'm at now. Like I've marked well over 2,000 boulder spots on the map. The latest number is like 1335 or something, but each of them can have letters, and the total number is well over 2,000. So I have a lot of exploring to do. And the thing is, like, I don't mark everything because the only ones I'm able to mark are things that I see on satellite view or LiDAR map, where I can see a disturbance in some kind of rocky point. And there's a lot more that don't really show up on any maps, but they're just either hidden under the trees or not big enough to show up on the contours. So there's just infinite boulders to explore. Alright, that's close enough for my satisfaction. Okay, I'm going to call this B87A. I'm actually kind of renaming a couple. I had separate numbers for this and the next one, but they're so close and connected by rocks that I'm just going to call them the same number with different letters. I really do have to be careful on this kind of stuff. It's a lot more treacherous than it might seem. Well, I guess if you're kind of into hiking, you know the possible dangers of this kind of stuff. Just slippery, wet rocks with snow on them. Otherwise, this would be not that big of a deal. It's still not that terrible or anything, but best to err on the side of caution. Let's see, which way should I get down? It's not like this right here. Down there is like a horrible angle. So I need to get footholds like this, and there's not really any good footholds. Might be able to make one just by clearing some of the snow to see what I'm looking at. Okay, now I can go a little bit more normal pace for a few steps. It's a cool log. It's crazy how twisted it is. I don't know if that's twisted or it's just when it rots it changes shape. I don't know. I don't know anything about that, but it looks like a little bit more wavy patterns than I would expect. Yeah, I may as well walk to the end of this. Hey, some little creature had the same idea. How weird. It's like one perfect paw print, really spaced out. What kind of animal would leave that kind of track? That is odd. I'm always amazed at how good animals are at like covering their own tracks by putting their foot in the same spot twice. It's surprising how perfectly they walk sometimes. I don't know if that's like an intentional thing they do or if it just that's how they walk and they don't know any different. But I find it interesting. I've only noticed this kind of stuff this last year when I did a lot of snow hiking this like a year ago when it was around this same time and a little bit later in the year or early in the next year. So I've seen a lot more animal tracks last winter than I've really ever seen because the snow makes them more obvious. There's a fire over there. I don't know if that smoke is big enough to see, but that's in an area that I don't think it would be. It's big enough. It's not a campfire, and I don't think it would be like a private, fire. Somebody burning the garbage, because it's out in the middle of nowhere. So, but it could be the Forest Service doing something. Hopefully it's not a wildfire. It's very small at the moment, so I'm sure they can put it out if it's not something that they have control of already. Okay, let's get this one on the map. Not sure how much further I'll go with this ridge before looking for another one. Oops. I'll call this B87B. Nice boy. I was trying to say nice view. The swipe is so bad on the phones. It's terrible. Nice boy. It's like, you'd think they'd have a little bit more grammar check. Okay, I get a picture here. Like just some logical matching against patterns, like common patterns in the English language. Obviously, nice boy is not nearly as common as nice view. Like for a swipe pattern. I mean, it's like they could have probably made that judgment call, especially since that's what I was trying to type, trying to swipe, and I don't think I was way off on my swipe. Okay, so there's some boulders down here lower. I guess I'll keep going, but there's not like a big outcrop like I've been experiencing. It's more of a kind of a treacherous slope, really. So hopefully it's not too difficult to get across. I wish I didn't have to go down below this this log, because it gets me closer to the edge. This spot or this edge would not be bad if it wasn't wet and snowy. It's not too terrible. Plus I can get a cool picture under this tree probably. All that texture in there is cool. Ooh. I think I inherited my mom's bad hip. She's been struggling a lot with hip problems. I've always had a bad hip too. Like ever since I was a teenager, I think. As long as I can remember. Got my dad's bad back, my mom's bad hip, both of my parents' bad teeth. What else do I have? And both my parents have high blood pressure, and so I probably already have that. My dad, everybody seems to be getting diabetes these days, so I'll probably deal with that. It's just like all these fun. There's some history of cancer in my family. I got all the check boxes. It's great. Anyway, so my battery just ran out again. I'm trying to not say that every time because who cares, but the reason I mentioned it specifically this time is because I just did it kind of impulse buy earlier today. I bought some more batteries. This 360 thing has become sort of my number one hobby by far recently. Like I spend most of my time either trying to get out on adventures like this, or when I get home, like processing the video and all this stuff, which takes forever because the files are gigantic, super high resolution. So it takes, like for example, the video I'm currently rendering when I first started. I don't know how long it will end up taking, but it estimated I think it was over 13 hours to render it in the video editor. So I just have to sit there and have my computer running, doing that stuff. Oh shoot. I should be marking some of these. I'm going really far without marking anything. It's dumb. Let me go back to at least this one over here. Distracted by my monologue. Anyway, so because it's my primary hobby, I don't feel too bad investing a little money into it, but problem is I'm unemployed and have no money right now, so I shouldn't be spending anything. But Insta360 is having a massive sale for like Black Friday or whatever, the Thanksgiving week, so their batteries are half off, so couldn't resist. Okay, so let's give this a number here. Last one was actually had a pre-marked thing here, so it's good I came back to it. It says B87C. Let me fix that real quick. Okay. So I didn't feel too bad about buying them. I was kind of hoping that by now, since the Insta360 1R and 1RS models have been out for like, I don't know, a few years, I think. At least the 1R that I have. Super old. I thought by now there'd be some off-brand batteries available, like Wasabi or whatever, some of those other cheap battery brands. And there actually are, but they have really terrible reviews, like 2 stars or something on Amazon. I've actually had really good luck with those off-brand batteries for like action cameras and other cameras that I've bought in the past. But for some reason the Insta360 cameras, batteries are quite special and probably harder to get right or something. Anyway, but when I saw that the actual legit Insta360 brand ones are half off, that was like, that's a significant savings. They're kind of expensive normally. So I ordered a couple of them, mainly because like if I just keep doing this, I'm gonna burn out my batteries eventually. Like their life span is limited. I've already had them probably for like, I don't know how long I've had this camera, but maybe like 3 years, 2 or 3 years, I don't know. Plus, like, the 2 models that take this style of battery, which are thankfully reverse compatible, or whatever you call it, backwards compatible, they're going to reach their end of life pretty soon. I don't think they're going to support those cameras forever, because they come out with new camera models pretty much every year, and eventually they'll just stop selling the parts and batteries for the old ones. So I can't afford to buy a new model anytime soon, so I figured if I'm going to keep doing this, I want to set myself up to be able to do it for a while. Hopefully my camera itself doesn't just burn out because I use it so much. Okay, I want to get down to those boulders there, and then I might, oh cool, look, there's a little cavity under this one. I should probably label this one, it's kind of big. I'm not going to bother to get up on it, I don't think, but I'll put a marker here. Oh, that smoke is looking bigger than before. Hopefully they are aware of it. Okay, we'll call this B87D. Ouch. I lost my train of thought as usual. Let's see. Okay, so I want to go down here. And unless I see like a massive continuation of more boulders, this could possibly be the end of this section. Like standing out on that boulder would have been cool. I don't remember which ones I labeled if I was up on top of that one just a minute ago. Not sure. Looks cool though. Alright, so I need to get down underneath this one to get down to that other one. This is a little bit slick here, I think. But it's pine needles, so I'll probably sink in a little bit, which is good. Nice. Another shelter. That's big enough you could actually crouch down there and get out of the rain. It's completely dry on the ground there. It's amazing. I think I'll label this one too. Maybe I'll try to crouch under there just for fun. Let's see. Looks like I'm right by the other one, but oh well. Okay, I'll call this B87E. I don't necessarily want to sit down there, but I could sit Indian style and get all the way under there pretty well. But I don't want to get my pants dirty for no reason. Okay, just need to get over to this other boulders. I think I had this one marked because I spotted it on satellite view. There's another small animal making tracks there. That's probably a chipmunk, I would guess, but I don't know. Nice view. For sure. Call this B87F. I wish you guys could appreciate the mountains in the background, but I think they're too small in the picture. My eyes see them as big, but because the 360 is spreading its resolution across the entire sphere, it's just going to be little dots and tiny bumps probably on the video. Oh well.